Broke stride as last of men realize their deep deceit. This trouble in advance of half-ass crews crowd these streets. Never mind who I am, son, just listen when I speak. Broken paragraphs hold wrath of 100 million deep. Bleak circumstance led masses to only want to dance. A bastard child of Reaganomics posed in a b-boy stance. Makes our leaders play minstrel, left with none to lead our people. How the fuck I'ma shake your hand when we've never been seen as equal? Deemed evil by those housed in church steeples. False prophets read backwards from broken tablets to the feeble. I seen you regurgitate their lies. I buy my time exposing ancient swine. Eddie Blue left his mark on this hasty scribe. If stars align, I suppose even the blind will see how they stole our last voice, corrupted culture into industry. Few minutes remain, a tame soul wanders wild when it dreams. Mine are filled with ill visions and certain dope things. These lit wrists won't rest till I spill these last drops. Tore the skin, only sin when I awoke on sidewalk. Peripheral, remain sane individual. When a man's viewed as criminal, to act animal is logical. Audible tones hone the whole substance. Form sentence, born reluctant poets speak prose, refuse to beg repentance. Reluctant poets speak prose, inside our peoples. We got break through those codes once the truth was divulged. Conscious cause or subliminal, actions all cyclical. Deplorable descendants of men, depressed clinical. Answers seem visible when visionless. Useless souls fold under pressure like hands sprayed on false Jesus. Adversaries advance awkwardly, anger expressed outwardly, causes ranks to break amongst these frail MCs. The fictional tales told with conviction, concise concepts once written, enter bloodstream since this ink's been forbidden. Distorted poets speak prose, inside our peoples we got raped over coals, but all truth still untold.
They make caricatures out of us. They make children so stupid and backwards. Unlimited is free. This is a war, the war of survival, Pan-Africanism, Pan-Africanism against white supremacy, white supremacy, white supremacy. And the only thing that can dismantle white supremacy is Pan-Africanism.
Zealots prefer bullets to ballots. Watch the rich sip from chalice as these eyes filled with malice. Peasant hands remain callous as our days retain darkness. I swallow razor blades to keep my vocal cord sharpened. Morbid mixture of mistrust and anger paints picture. Perception out blurred, words slurred to form scripture. misinformed. Storm gates is stronghold. Strange fate that I chose. Morbid poets speak prose. Tattered voices arose, red blood written on scrolls, escapes throat and ill flow from my mindless tone, modest thoughts monotone. Infant MCs play grown, found them hung in hallways from chords on microphones. Effects affected 10% that might miss. Welcome to the 21st neo-inquisition. Bite your tongue, hold your thoughts close to best. Better yet, look the stars that they still street projects. Ironic, never see ourselves as next grade. But now we equals cause we have a king's holiday. Coming storm here to stay. Return the new sky, heaven gray. Africans into slaves, say we free. But if we speak like Malcolm X and they assassinate. Fate of men on corporate memos. Halos reserved for those who keep status quo. Carry big stick but speak in low tones. Truth festers under scandalized with the permanent underclass don't act surprised. Truth festers under scandalized. Festers under scandalized. The death blow, but then they stole our vocal cords and sold them to the devil. We used to raise our fists, now our leadership just settles. Eyes off the ghettos, keep watching those space shuttles. And midst of this madness is madmen to win. Even when we vote the opposite, it all reverts to Reagan. Still be Christian pagans, still clutching mid-stated. Back to ancient Babylon that might have raveled on. Misconstrued world you used to was over misinformed pigs. Then move and act like horns. Artists conform and play minstrel. Police state treat our youngest criminals. Why play the Roman death sentence? Truth festers under scandalized. We the permanent underclass don't act surprised. Truth festers under scandalized. Festers under scandalized. I drop the fist and guns and use this tongue to combat. Succumb to malignant maelstrom, bow for mental stained expected outcome, and not to be outdone. Some speaking half phrases, no definition of brush strokes, already out of phase with these statements. Raise children off pavement, pulse on boards hasten when confronted with styles from gutter basements, set to build like Freemasons on three angles. All I see is minstrel MCs on these channels, perceive battles only held as cell albums, propagate stereotypes that bleed out us. Our own doubters, but I remain devout scholar, still the forefathers. Ignorance was forced on us, define honest. If we all breathe disease lies, define the MC if all he spits is weak lines. Who searches culture for dollars? The fool or the scholar? Real poet or white collar? Who changes culture for dollars? The fool or the scholar? Real poet or white collar? Who changes culture for dollars? The fool or the scholar? Real poet or white collar? Who changes culture for dollars? The fool or the scholar? Real poet or white collar? And if my written words slurred, then my speech correct. Keep my meaning in further, test your intellect. If you remember hip-hop, nigga, enough respect. Dead verse spoken with broken dialect. Spoken word held meaning, hostile acts provoke. Form metaphors, created urban folklore. Never meant for these upper echelon auras that bought and strip morals from art that's gift for us. At heart, I'm strict purist. Spit thoughts for chorus. 5-6 Honduran sights set on own ruin. Rugged cadence meant to capture essence. Ancestors' wrath festers under surface of uttered sentence. Who churches culture for dollars? The fool or the scholar? Real poet or white collar? Who changes culture for dollars? The fool or the scholar? Real poet or white collar? Who changes culture for dollars? The fool or the scholar? Real poet or white collar? Who changes culture for dollars? The fool or the scholar? Real poet or white collar? If my written words slurred, then my speech correct. Keep my meaning in further, test your intellect. If you remember hip-hop, nigga, enough respect. Dead verse spoken with broken dialect. If my written words slurred, then my speech correct. Keep my meaning in further, test your intellect. If you remember hip-hop, nigga, enough respect. Dead verse spoken with broken dialect. correct. Keep my meaning in further, test your intellect. If you remember hip-hop, nigga, enough respect. That verse spoken with broken dialect. If my written words slurred, then my speech correct. Keep my meaning in further, test your intellect. If you remember hip-hop, nigga, enough respect. That verse spoken with broken dialect. Fragmental, thoughts essential, mass meticulous movements towards central. Sip from holy grail to breathe eternal, but time's concurrent. Displace visual with iller words of slurring. Inferred meaning, missed target, minute margins. Make the most hardy crumble when they're forced silent. Our only virtue left is pure violence. Remain defiant, incarcerated souls sold to build empires. I grow tired of tyrants, pastors, presidents. Evidence the death swept thunder over carpet. As inmates and children kept starving. True criminals were free with presidential pardons. Nostalgic visions bring us back to days of backspins when trivial infractions got your jaw fractured. Shattered lineage from land the U.S. sanctions. Indebted service to democracy, feed the families with mere pennies. There's that truth you seek. Knew you wasn't ready, implications too heavy. The stick up kids I fear wear three-piece suits. Seduce murders lose their meaning when you stand accused. Most my people was born with their necks in noose. So now I wander on streets versus packing tubes.
like animals.
Some succumb to pressure, resort to drastic measures. Modern slavery sanctifies corporate greed. Economy solely based on prison industries become reality, dilutes humanity. Our common enemies long since won. Take the melanin is monsters for years to come. Brush stroke of both sage and deceive an MC. A beast caged in the heart of the city. Beast caged in the heart of the city. This beast caged in the heart of the city, circumvents time and speech, gutter tongue kept filthy. Histories past the handshakes, wisdom achieved. Victory is always fleeting for these pseudo MCs. Trapped my novel mind's eyes blinded. Political prisoners terrorized in confinement confirms what we learned of U.S. police state. Asphyxiate the people that claim to liberate while you debate. Democrat, Republican, they ran the game on poor again. Latins and Africans, chamberist and mancus, create profits for world bankers. This heart's filled with rancor, resurrected by this modern Rome, where hate's condoned. Inherent anger strangles what night is shown. Found shelter when consciousness forms, and we've all been offered this Abraham son undoing thoughts. hypnosis, none stand determined. Learned men lose gnosis. Life taken in small doses, only last equivalent. Attempts to sport it, irreverent exploits resonate latent. At core, every last statement is ancient. Adjacent actions lack passion. Those easily distracted, attract rather real factions. Granted breath, so there's your precious gift. Your half-ass attempts landed you in ill predicaments. Indicative of lost wisdom, gain fear. Effective speech and handshakes, insincere. Seen through that fraudulent folklore. Frail orators narrate on demise with evil drenched rhymes as in civilized eyes. Focus on torn more fabric. Death is full tunes of static like suicide. My whispers tragic, emphatic applause and minor loss left none to rest on Sabbath. You take sword and I'll take mic. Words spark revolution and men spotlight. Words brand, mic flow back. Spirits, gotta bring stiffness for my stack. You take sword and I'll take mic. Words spark revolution and men spotlight. Words brand, mic flow back. Spirits, gotta bring stiffness for my stack. Soulful course, empires to fall, commerce angel. Waiting outside the blood you throw, fire seeds constantly be sown. Arsenic lace climate, await spark to implode. Floodlight zone, into tired eyes since youth homes home. Now retaliate with truth. I seen guys lose honor with each word they chose. Diluted prose, four praise and three notes. Conceal hope, only provokes primal act of core savage. While they sold postcards and hangings, acts of your forefathers damning. Got nerve to core talk of damage with pale-skin raw anguish. Made every gun that we brandish. Stole history, culture, music, and all language. Sense panic when brown skin dead speakers sing it all happen. Mad we ain't dancing. Minimal advancement won't make me passive. Losing the resistance of twin like assassin. You take sword and I'll take mic. Words spark revolution and men spotlight. Words brand, mic flow back. Spirits, gotta bring stiffness for my stack. You take sword and I'll take mic. Words spark revolution and men spotlight. Words brand, mic flow back. Spirits, gotta bring stiffness for my stack. in decline. Our people's been assassinated by our own blind. Balance bullets or flash vertebrae. Yacht gunshots and lyrics of well-aimed will reverberate. There's no escape. Your false excuses, promise lies. I'm exterminated by sincere tears, softened. The honest only work to avoid wooden coffins. Done talking cause it's speech that allows for deceit. This dialect I speak is forever bred in basements. The race and eyes are the only witness to my changes. Abrasive words slurred with the two-sport. Caught by the few who you watch, but lost on these blocks. Rest for no rap, and I sit on savage. Still always met instructions of rap. Rest for no rap, and I sit on savage. And not, but we still live in shack. Time to sleep once this man's collapse. Class hands in vain attempt to prey upon victims. Ask for resistance to sever. Just my mind designed for remnants and nightmares, broken sections. Blessings can't save designated slaves. Only answer that remains to subvert whole system. All systems fail, but it's bitches that is failed. As I patriarchy's jail to provide failed income. None listen, I speak with this larynx. Addicts moving slow with remiss with the granite. Hands bound with damage, no weapons we brandish. These savage by masses, but this anchor's just after. Rest for no rap, and I sit on savage. Still always had instructions of rap. Rest for no rap, and I sit on savage. And not, but we still live in shack. Freedom is false. Futility of earthly flesh, answers, death, solid core. Within these very words lie my ancestral tongue. I kept breath within collapse, left numb. As I witness modern tower about to come undone. These bloodshot eyes surmise that most leaders lost. terrain disfigured. Pressure temple, temper, tap trigger. Must contend with this disease, mind and drown liver. Cradle, soul, eternal type land of two rivers. Considered quite embittered by whole corrupt system. Bled fists in the tent when words weren't heard. Never one to feel blessed, beliefs are all blurred. Breathing nocturne, tone ever somber. Must be meant to wander. Woeful soul won't get conquered. Days numb the calmer, no wealth to squander. My lower class stronger, can't suppress anger. People can't handle, speak east with timbre. Tongue full like hammer on those who slander. Success, that's what's up, it's up, just forsaken. Recognizing who's why seeps into vacant. Eyes out of focus, only see what they told us. Murder rates on our shoulders. Asymmetric hatred only feeds apathetic. Volatile vocals turn thoughts kinetic. Never knew your happiness could just be injected. Belt to clenched jaw, teeth hurt, all infected. Childhood resurrected with no mention. We never add time to subtract from life sentence. Why divide God in 3 sections? Some find them uncut in glass vials, son, no difference. Frail existence, veiled world depicted by those still addicted to deities received intravenous. Believers remove pure diction in attempts to deceive us. The last of tacticians, acts of contrition lost in translation. People lose patience with words that sound vacant. Atrocities blatant by hands of forsaken. The fortunate find core essence awakened. Success, that's what's up, it's up, just forsaken. Recognizing who's why seeps into vacant. Eyes out of focus, only see what they told us. Murder rates on our shoulders. Success, that's what's up, it's up, just forsaken. Recognizing who's why seeps into vacant. Eyes out of focus, only see what they told us. Murder rates on our shoulders. mind slip, vision off axis, knowledge kept backwards, new extracted, light formed the darkness, sacrifice offered, fruit slid on offer for teaching these paupers. Falsehoods force the forces to react. Blind faith forms fanatical combat. Speech figure deep as the learned adapt. Papal armies poised for attack. Well, in fact, your precious books written by hands of human. This Christian Jahid will plead the poor man. Beliefs and ideas can't stand congruent. Morality myths kept the common mind ruined. Opiate masses, knowledge kept backwards. Religion organized, they rise to ill factors. Genocide from Genesis to last chapter. Conceal the fact that man Jesus was blacker. Opiate masses, knowledge kept backwards. Religion organized, they rise to ill factors. Genocide from Genesis to last chapter. Conceal the fact that man Jesus was blacker.
The role of religion in the domination and the destruction of African civilization is so shameful. No matter how you look at it, the picture is negative, because all of them did more harm than good. All of them made their God ungodly.
Manipulated mental, misguided myth. You pray the cross sticks and nails to each wrist. The scar that you get, truth still elusive. Illusions use the script strength from last human. Past home is lumen, awake the dead. Misread basic meaning that's left unsaid. What sanity? Simply soul hold the thread. The missionaries wield swords to break bread. Your holy books only increase bloodshed. Those holy books only increase bloodshed. From first moment they move to subdue populace. Pagan beliefs into weak reformed doctrine. Ironic when we speak of heresy. These priests can't even see your disease fraternity. So fuck that sour wine and stay away from. Your pale portrait of a hippie could never be my savior. Opiate masses, knowledge kept backwards. Religion organized, they rise to ill factors. Genocide from Genesis to last chapter. Conceal the fact that man Jesus was blacker. Opiate masses, knowledge kept backwards. Religion organized, they rise to ill factors. Genocide from Genesis to last chapter. Conceal the fact that man Jesus was blacker.
The role of religion in the domination and the destruction of African civilization is so shameful. No matter how you look at it, the picture is negative, because all of them did more harm than good. All of them made their God ungodly.
and organize their rise to ill factors. Genocide from Genesis to last chapter. Conceal the fact the man Jesus was black.
Organized religion has always endorsed the enslavement of people.